Welcome to the Sports Minute. If you liked the video this morning, please comment and share it. Please subscribe to my YouTube page, Vincent Turner 560 here on YouTube. The topic this morning, the Dallas Cowboys. As you see, I have gray growing into my face now, and I usually stay shaved here on the page. But I've kind of gone into a mode of depression. See, I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for 65 years of my life. 59 years of my life out of 65. And I can go all the way back to Bob Lilly, to Don Perkins, to Dan Reeves, to Dandy Don Meredith, the whole shebang, Roger Staubach, so many great Cowboy players, Leroy Jordan, Cornell Green, Charlie Waters, Cliff Harris, Drew Pearson, Tony Dorsett, Robert Newhouse. Do you want me to keep going? Then, of course, in the mid-90s, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Russell Maryland, Leon Lett, Jim Jeffcoat, Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper. And I never thought after the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl in 1996, I never thought it would be another 29 years that I'd be sitting here. When will the Cowboys win another Super Bowl? And at that time, I think we had the greatest coach that ever touched the face of the earth in Jimmy Johnson. And what he did with the organization, even though Barry Switzer won the Super Bowl in 96, that was Jimmy Johnson's team. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years that had never been done. And just to show you how powerful this organization is, the New England Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls, right? When you walk around this face of the earth, and when I'm dead and gone, the Dallas Cowboys are going to go down as the most powerful franchise in the National Football League history. They on the same level as the Yankees, the Celtics, and the Lakers. No matter who the new cast of characters are, they can come 20 years down the road. The Dallas Cowboys are still going to be America's team. And for some reason last night with the Cowboys going into that game 6-1, I thought they had a great chance of beating the Vikings and moving on and maybe running the table and getting into the playoffs. And with the Kansas City Chiefs now being eliminated yesterday in the AFC, and with the Philadelphia Eagles playing up and down football this year, I thought the timing was right. The doors of the church were open. But I forgot one thing. The Cowboys defense, even though they made a lot of acquisitions for the trade deadline and the Michael Parsons trade, there's still a lot of holes on that defense. And offensively, there's still a lot of holes on the offensive line. I mean, it's depth. And what you got a football team that's got a $60 million player who's the highest paid player in the league. So I don't really think it's going to change next year because you still got to have depth. You still got to build on the defensive side of the ball. But last night, I was fool's gold. I really thought we had a chance. No, it wasn't. Dallas was the same football team that's been all year long. Our offense that can score a lot of points. And our offense, let me put this in perspective. Our offensive line that can protect Dak Prescott. Last night, you saw when Dallas has injuries in their offensive line, Dak Prescott is mediocre. And he will throw interceptions. Last night, he didn't throw a pick, but he makes bad plays when the Cowboys' offensive line is not good and be able to pass protect. But I think the most disappointing thing as a Cowboys fan this morning, because it took me maybe 8 hours. I've been turning and trying to go to sleep last night after the game, was that the defensive side of the ball. The Cowboys allowed J.J. McCartney, and no disrespect to Mr. McCartney, take away his performance from last night's game. 15 of 24, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. J.J. McCartney has not played to that level in any start in his career. And you would have thought after the first series when he threw that pick on Minnesota's opening drive, you would have said that the Cowboys are going to win this game going away. Man. But again, the defense allowed J.J. McCartney, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 108-point passing rating. But this is what bothers me most of all. In 42 plays, the Vikings scored 31 points and averaged almost 7 yards a play. In 52 plays they ran last night, they averaged 6.5 yards a play. This is to a Vikings offense that struggled all year long. And I thought that especially the D line was going to be, I want to say, had the advantage of taking over the game against the Minnesota offensive line. They didn't. They never got to J.J. McCartney. I think they might have got one quarterback hit on him. But I would say this, I'm not even going to pronounce the D coordinator's name. And I know he hasn't had the players to really run his type of scheme. Again, I'm not going to pronounce his name because I'm so pissed off at him. Excuse me, upset. Why in the world he never brought pressure? Why in the world he never blitzed? But that's Jerry Jones. That's what happens to the Cowboys nation. We get our scheme. We got people in place that don't make, but I want to say, sound decisions. Well, on the other side of the ball, Brian Flores should be a head coach next year in the National Football League. You saw what common sense means. Once he realized Dallas lost their offensive tackle on the left side. And even though throughout the whole game, he was bringing pressure. And as I said earlier in my conversation, once Dak Prescott is under pressure, he's not the same quarterback. And he doesn't have the ability to will your team to victories in big football games. And I took my mind and I started thinking down the road. The greatest who some people said play the game, Tom Brady, could only move like 2 or 3 steps in the pocket. And he won 6 championships with New England, one with Tampa Bay. A guy that's not really athletic in position, but one thing about Tom Brady, he knew how to get the football out. He knew how to go to a short passing game. You blitz Tom Brady, it's all over, no lights out. And last night, for some reason, I don't know about the play calling with Dak Prescott, but Dallas could have done a better job with the way Minnesota was bringing pressure, especially Harrison Smith off the edge, the safety. And does that go back to Brian Schottenheimer as the coach or Dak Prescott? And back to the defense. I'm trying to really get excited for next season. That's because the season is over with. I hope one day, as I pause, and I'm not trying to pause, I'm trying to figure out will the Cowboys ever get back to the promised land? Their last Super Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will they ever get back? And right now, that doesn't seem like that's going to happen in my lifetime. I'm going to be dead, long, and gone. Very disappointing last night to see the Cowboys have so much to gain and lose that football game the way they did to the Minnesota Vikings 34-26. It's really disappointing. In Cowboy Nation, I know everyone out there that's a Dallas Cowboys fan feel my pain today. It is disappointing. You had everything in the game. And I said this, in the 3-game stretch when they played Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Detroit, I said if the Cowboys win 2 out of those 3 games, they can run the table beating the Vikings, beating the Chargers, beating the Commanders, and beating the Giants. And even with the new acquisitions on defense, I didn't see no way the Cowboys could be in the playoffs if they ran the table. But it's disappointing city this morning on December the 15th. So that being said, if you like my video this morning, please come in and share it. Please subscribe to my YouTube page, Vincent Turner 560 here on YouTube. Next year, Cowboys Nation, y'all have a blessed Christmas and a happy new year.